It's the hustle on that porch. I survived the films. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. It's been a short, hard life full of stress and mess. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. Being broke at 40, give a nigga the chill. It's been a short, hard life full of stress and mess. All I had was my mind and my strength.
Peace. It's your brother back with the A1 podcast. I know I've been gone for a little minute, actually a few months. Basically, life, had a lot going on. I've been meaning to get up here and build with y'all and kick it and drop some more info and, gauge our thoughts and get some more guests on here. But between working to take care of myself and my family and building my businesses and my brand outside of that and trying to just grow overall, which is also should be everyone's main goal is personal growth, so, it kind of took me away from this, which I enjoy doing it, I love speaking my personal opinion and, backing it up with facts and just to see what other people have to say about it, And in these YouTube streets, it's funny because a lot of people will actually watch you and just won't comment or like, subscribe or share, But they have a lot to say about your content and your videos, but not to you or not to your page or whatever. With that being said, remember to share, like, and subscribe. I need to get the likes up, because it definitely takes time, whether it's researching or editing videos, finding guests, for these topics and this content. And as we look to expand on more platforms, more social media, so to speak, like we're already on Anchor and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll be going to Twitch and some other platforms soon as we look at what's the best for us and our message and the way to promote what we're doing without diluting, the way we do our thing, So as always, peace to the people in the universe. And we hope that this video and this message finds you in the best of health, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You dig? So while I've been gone, it's been so much going on. It's been real ill. It's been wild. I'm not even gonna call it crazy no more because crazy is an understatement. And like I said about most of these ostriches out here, they keep their head stuck in the sand and they don't want to take into account how significant and how fast the world is changing in front of you. So, I got a few topics that I, over the past couple of weeks, that since I've been getting ready to get back on air, have came to my mind and I wrote down and I want to touch on. But not to be missed, the other day was, actually yesterday was Martin Luther King's holiday. So, you know how I do. I'm going to come right in there full speed. So, it's always bothered me how diluted the man's message has become. It's one thing with outsiders of our community, but it's a whole nother thing within our community. I was telling somebody not too long ago, actually about when I was a child in school, when either Martin Luther King, his day would come around, or it'd be, so-called quote-unquote Black History Month. Everybody wanted to do a report on Martin Luther King. That's all the melanated people, that's all they wanted to do. I have a dream. And that's the only thing most of them ever wrote about, because that's the only thing they talk about on television. That's the only thing that they will teach you in school about Martin Luther King. A lot of people don't understand that the man was actually assassinated for speaking up about reparations. That was his biggest sin. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of the majority of you know society. You know what I mean? The government and the powers that be. Right? It was all good to talk about being equal and little black boys and little white boys going to school and all that. But once you start talking about the debt that is owed to our people, you become a threat because now you're not pulling at their heartstrings no more. You're pulling at their pocketbook strings. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really led to him and El Hajj Malik Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, aka Malcolm Little, aka Detroit Red, also getting killed because they had this conversation together. You see what I'm saying? So you have two polar opposite um figures attacking the injustices going against our people from two different perspectives. And when they came together on one accord about reparations and knowing the true history about how we was already here, and then having a secret conversation, that was a big problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got him up out of here. But to get back to my original point, that's not that that part of Martin Luther King's history is not taught to us. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember last year they came out trying to talk about he was a womanizer, he was cheating on his wife, whatever, whatever. What did that have to do with the man's core message and his principles, right? We don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, somebody said to me about 10 years ago, it's like, man, these kids, they being dumbed down so much, you know what I'm saying, by the school system that in about 50 years, they'll have a white man on stage, or excuse me, a person from the Caucasus region or, with Caucasian origins playing Martin Luther King on stage in Broadway and nobody is seeing anything wrong with it. You see what I'm saying? And it's like we're so worried about things that don't matter that when it comes to our own heritage that everybody in the world knows, how is it that somebody in another country can know it better than you in your own country? And the fact that we don't even speak up about it no more, the fact that we're just so busy going, happy to go along as long as we can pay our little bills and get home to watch whatever's on reality TV. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like we talked about this a long time ago that, when I say we, I'm talking about me and some of the people in my inner circle. We spoke on this a long time ago and in our conversations about how, we all know that America is nothing but an extension of Rome. You know what I'm saying? And they give you all these distractions to keep you from revolting against them. You know what I'm saying? That way they can keep taking more and more and more of your natural liberties and rights. Excuse me, can't speak for some reason this evening. Away from it, but to not go off too far on a tangent. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole gist of it. You know what I mean? We celebrate this man every year. You know what I'm saying? Since I can remember, and most of my people don't know the first thing about this cat. All they know is that he was a preacher or a reverend, and he got a church in Atlanta. That's it. Oh, add to that, I read something in the newspaper. I think it was yesterday about Boston, the most racist city in America, spent $10 million on a supposed monument to honor him, and it was just crazy. Like it did. Nobody knows what the hell it looks like. It just looks like two hands grabbing on something, right? Somebody wrote in an actual newspaper or a magazine somewhere that it looked like somebody was grabbing on a penis. You know what I'm saying? It's just wow. You see what I'm saying? This is just wow. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up. I mean, you should be able to search it. You know what I mean? It was just written within a day or so because they just unveiled it in Boston for this upcoming Martin Luther King holiday. So that you know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm saying. Like they wow. You know what I'm saying? They wow with that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter, most of the people, I'm not talking about the people obviously watching this and listening, most of the people, they could care less. You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But these are the same people that dig in their pocket and keep donating to Ukraine. And I ain't going to say to anybody that what was going on over there ain't, wild in itself, but shit, you got what they teach you in churches, you got to take care of your own house first. So you can't be going out here taking care of somebody else's house if you ain't going to take care of your house. You dig? And, you know, that's all I'm going to say about church, because we all know I'm not a big fan of religion. But, that's just one of those things. So, I had to bring that up and let people know, what I'm saying, where I'm at with that and what's going on and what I noticed about that. Now that, I'm going to go into some of the other topics that caught my attention over the past few weeks. And, if I forget one or two, what I'm saying, I'll come back with another video. I'm trying to get to the point where I could just do this, more and more. Even I want to shoot some live videos, even when I'm driving after my 9 to 5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just easier to record live and get my thoughts off or whatever. So, for those people who don't understand the powers of unions, and I'm glad I looked that up. A few weeks back, the railroads they were getting ready to strike, right, nationwide, right, and the federal government stepped in and ended that, right, so that there couldn't be no strike. So that means basically they saying you have to take and accept whatever wages that the employers are attempting to give you, right? Well, that defeats the whole point of unions and unionized labor. And to be honest with you, this is the only country where we got people looking at unionized labor or organized labor, like an evil stepchild. While all these other countries have government-backed employees, whether it's China, whether it's some of these Latin American countries, or Japan, all these other countries, even Europe has unions. You know what I'm saying? The United Arab Emirates, all these other places have unions and use union workers and labor. So why is it that the supposed richest country in the world don't want you to have organized labor? Because they're trying to keep you separated. I'm just go ahead and answer that. I ain't going to give you time. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to keep you separated so you don't know your rights and what you're entitled to, while they keep changing the laws. This is why you see a bunch of the nurses union up in New York, they were getting ready to strike, right? The only difference is, the pandemic's over, so they talking about it, but they're not really talking about it, right? Then on top of that, with the railroad, railroad workers, right? They said that they're a part of critical infrastructure, so there's no way that they can let them strike because the country will fall apart. So they forced them, right? And it's like, come on, let's keep it a bean. You can't force me to do something I don't want to do, because if we say we're going to strike, then we just strike. You know what I'm saying? And that just means we don't show up to work. You feel what I'm saying? So if we don't show up to work, it's just like with any other unions. If the air, like when the pilots and shit say they don't want to fly, the planes ain't moving. The trains won't move. Them trucks won't move. You see what I'm saying? Whatever the people get together and decide, that's what they want to get better conditions. That's what they're going to do, right? And they shouldn't be afraid to do it. But we live in a society where they perpetuate fear upon the common person. So this is why most people scared, like, well, shit, I'm losing my job, and I don't know how I'm how you're gonna make it, but most people are terrified of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they bank on. So with that being said, we had the railroad. It's killing me tonight. Railroad workers, right? The nurses, and it was somebody else who was upset. But needless that's neither here nor there, right? So over this same period of time, I'm reading the newspaper and I'm staying, I'm trying to keep up on it. So why did all these big corporations take a case before the Supreme Court? I just read this yesterday. Was it yesterday or Sunday? I read it within the last 2 days. They took a case before the Supreme Court, right? And what they're trying to say is, matter of fact, not only did I read it, I seen a TikTok video on it too. That's neither here nor there. But this is a real thing, right? And remember, if you don't believe me, you can always look these things up yourself. So they took a case to the Supreme Court to sue you. Remember, this is corporations like the Amazons. This is Verizon, Comcast, Con Ed, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is they're going to sue you if you're an organized labor group like a union or any group of people that walk out of work because you're demanding better labor practices and better working conditions and more money or better health care, whatever. They're saying they're trying to get it passed into law that they can sue you and you guys will be responsible for their lost wages while you were striking. Like, so they can come after your pensions, your 401ks, you know what I'm saying? Basically, trying to keep you on the hamster wheel, so to speak. You know what I mean? That way you can never get off. You feel what I'm saying? And this goes back to the Davos or the World Economic Forum from like a year to 2 years ago when they first came out with this. Well, you will own nothing, but you'll be happy. Like, yo, they're really trying to make this. They're really trying to make this a reality. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of those things that definitely gotta, keep. I'm definitely going to keep up on, so I could definitely relay the information to you guys. You know what I mean? And I would love to know what y'all think about this because if that happens, you have no rights. Literally, everybody cry about this like some of these states are right to work states, and people never really read the laws and truly understand them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like they just think that a company can hire you and fire you. Basically, you just a number, and that's the truth for a lot of these companies and corporations. You come in, you're just a number. So we push you till you can't do it no more. Just don't want to do it no more. Cool. Then we fire you, put the next person in that slot, pay them a little less, and push them to do what you done, or to do it a little bit more, a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? More efficient. You know what I mean? And that's the American way. So that's why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poor. You know what I'm saying? So, this is definitely something that I think everybody should pay attention to and just keep reading about and keep staying informed because no matter how you feel, maybe you think I'm just spouting off shit to sound smart or whatever, but at the end of the day, this shit gonna affect you, it's gonna affect your family, and it's gonna affect your kids. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely something that you need to pay attention to because it's gonna have long lasting ramifications for the future. You dig? So we're gonna move on to the next topic because I ain't gonna beat y'all in the head with that all night. Uh, uh, Interesting one because we have the ADOS community and what they call them, the phonetically black or whatever the hell Tariq came up with. Um, it's ill because for the last couple of years, there's been, I'd say maybe 5 to 7 years, there's been an argument over some places or institutions giving us, the original people and indigenous people of this land, reparations for the injustices that was perpetrated against us and our ancestors, right? But they've been arguing over different ways to do it. I remember one school was saying that everybody would get free education all indigenous people would get free education, forever or whatever, and then just all kind of wild stuff. Well, it came to where Cali voted, and they passed the fact that they saying, all indigenous people, our original people, Asiatic people of California, should go ahead and be awarded reparations. You know what I'm saying? Now they're working out the amount or something like that. I heard it was like 200 to 400,000 per person. You know what I'm saying? But they got to be able to trace your lineage back during that time of what they call it, bondage, slavery. You know what I'm saying? This is before most of these immigrants came over here, before they were allowing people of our complexion to immigrate into this country. Then New York did something where they're thinking about giving up reparations, right? So I want to know, down in the comment section, or you know what I'm saying, inbox me or whatever, what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I've always known in our community there's been a lot of conflicting ideas on giving our people reparations because some people are financially irresponsible, right? Okay, true. But I give you my argument on that. Everybody's not financially irresponsible. So for the 20 people that will blow their money within the next 2 to 5 years, what about those 10? Let's say people from the church, the mosque, or whatever religious organization, you know what I'm saying, the Kingdom Hall, that is going to take care of that money. They're gonna plant it and watch it grow and do the things that they're supposed to do. So out of even in those organizations, if you take 10% of the people and 10% of the people that's not affiliated with any organization, right, like that, or religion or whatever, and they get that money and they make that money grow, that is a problem to the bigger establishment, because we'll destabilize the economy, because we'll again create our own economy within the economy, back to like the days of like a Black Wall Street, where you had Greenwood, you had Wilmington, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? To the point where it's going to be beef again, where they're going to want to destroy our towns like they did Rosewood, so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie to you. I think we should get the money. I want my money. I want my 40 acres that are equivalent. You know what I mean? But I would love to know what you guys think on that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you too long on that, because people be all over the place with that, and most of it just be emotion. You know what I'm saying? Not rooted in any fact or any history, right? Um, Something was bugging. It was bugging me. But this happened before all these rainstorms, and they were talking about all these great um bodies of mass of water, like especially the Mississippi, were at record lows. You know what I'm saying? Where they were talking about, man, in a couple of years it could dry up. They said that about the Mississippi. They said that about the Colorado River and the bottom of the Grand Canyon, which you understand why that is, because they dammed the river off, and Las Vegas and Los Angeles were both drinking up most of that water that was supposed to go in there. But this is a smooth segue into the other topic because they're related. What about all these massive floods and storms that the West Coast have been getting, right? Because you got to remember, Los Angeles and Las Vegas are both desert, right? So it usually don't rain out there. But they've been flooded, like especially California, they've been flooded. They've been flooded, you know what I'm saying, for like the past 2.5 weeks. They don't even had hurricanes out there. I don't ever remember hearing about California having hurricanes, but I know that they get earthquakes quite often. Actually, they had an earthquake not too long. Like a 6 point something magnitude earthquake about a week or two ago, and then they just started getting all these um, flash flooding and snowstorms and hurricanes. So you know, I don't have all the answers to that one, but it's something interesting to me. I think it's something to keep an eye on. A lot of people believe it's Monsanto's with the heart machine. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about population control. But I don't know, because at the same time, the Earth always replenishes itself. You know what I'm saying? So if you mess something up for long enough, it'll get mad, and you know you won't be able to make it through that. But it'll replenish itself. It'll start its own life cycle over. So I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? That was just something that puzzled me. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know what people think about that one. But at the same time, if you even know about that, right? Because a lot of us don't watch we don't watch our local or national news, let alone read the newspaper. Uh, Something that was eerie to me, and I wanted to speak on it, and I held on to it, and I kept watching the story grow because it didn't just happen here where I reside. It started happening in other spots all over the country. And the thing that got me the most was when you got people, they call them domestic terrorists. You got people they call domestic terrorists targeting power grids. You see what I'm saying? And as much money as these power companies siphon from all the people, especially the poor people, they have nobody protecting these power grids, right? There's no patrol, no nothing. And to be honest with you, I never really thought about it. You know what I'm saying? But I remember back in the 80s and then in the early 2000s, they had a movie, because they had the original movie and then they had the remake called Red Dawn, talking about when all of the communist countries band together to come and, you know what I'm saying, they come in and invade America, right? And they always said the way that they would do it was knock out the power. And we sit around and we speculate, you know what I'm saying, that there's no way that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Our air defense and all our technology, you know what I'm saying, so advanced, or we'd see them before they even get here, whatever, whatever. But yet, there was, I want to say what, it was one substation in North Carolina that was vandalized and knocked out power to over 100,000 people, right? It was four substations across Seattle, Washington that was hit, knocked out power to them. Then it happened in like two or three other small cities. And this was just stuff that I read and seen on my local news. So there's no telling how many other cities and towns this happened in. And to me, it appeared to be a dry run. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always a test run before something bigger happens. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't trying to scare you, but I'm just gonna point out the obvious. Anytime they show you something over and over again in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? No matter how long ago it was, it tends to become a fact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they always showed the Twin Towers getting attacked before they got attacked. You see what I'm saying? I mean, from the late 80s through the 90s, you know what I'm saying, with True Lies and all this other wild mess, you know what I'm saying? We just thought it was good TV, but in the end, it ended up they was preparing you, you know what I'm saying? Just like they prepared you for the fact that the new boogeyman was always going to be an Arab person, you know what I'm saying? Because in all those movies, the bad guy was an Arab person, you know what I'm saying? It's not by coincidence. Just like in most of the movies in the mid 2000s on, all the bad guys were Latin people. You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that you need to think about and pay attention to, because what's going to happen for the average person? The average person keeps maybe a week worth of groceries, right? And even if you keep more in a deep freezer, in your freezer, or whatever, when the power go out, all that food go bad anyway, right? We don't grow any food. We live in food deserts for the most part in most of these major metropolitans, right? So how are you going to get sustenance? They said the average grocery store in your local community only has enough food for like what, a week or something. Like if everything shut down, there was nothing being delivered. Everybody rush in there, take whatever they could out. I mean, you probably only get enough to last you another week, and then you see what I'm saying. So it ain't about fear mongering. It's just one of those what if, what's really going on. Because at the end of the day, man, my belief is, man, our politicians been sold this out. You know what I mean? I've been told you about Pelosi and Joe and everybody else, how they made so much money when they was only supposed to get paid a few $100,000. You ain't gonna tell me about no backroom deals and handshakes going on, you know. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a dude on YouTube talking shit. You know what I mean? But I bet you one thing, your ass won't look into it. You won't read and do no research on it. That's all right. That's why I'm here to spark that light. You know what I mean? Get you to think about something outside the box. So moving on, cause got a couple other things. Actually, it looked like I moved through this pretty quick. I got one other thing that kind of bugged me out. You know what I'm saying? Before I let y'all go for the night. You know what I mean? What's this shit? I remember back in the day, Cat Williams made a joke about super Earths and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's funny. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to think about super Earth. Like, fuck is a super Earth, right? But what's up with these cats talking about? They said scientists discover better plans for life than Earth. How the fuck you figure that? And how the hell you supposed to get there? And your ass poor, you ain't going. They gonna fuck up the planet, drain all the resources up out of it. You know what I mean? Probably start a nuclear war and then leave your ass to, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Planet's better than Earth. Shit, you already got a planet. Why you just don't take care of the one you got? All the bullshit, you know what I mean? All motherfuckers don't want you to grow your own food. Motherfuckers want you to eat plant-based, not actual plants. Some scientifically made shit with a piece of plant in it. And then they don't want you to eat meat no more. Your man, what's his name? Gates said he don't want you to eat cows no more because they fart too much and it's fucking up the ozone layer. Yeah, what? I don't know, people. But I definitely know being back up here in front of y'all, I definitely miss this. I definitely enjoy it. And at the same time, man, definitely let me know your appreciation by liking it, subscribing, and please share. That's one thing that I definitely don't do. Actually, a lot of y'all dudes, I'm going to keep it all the way to being with y'all. A lot of y'all motherfuckers click on my shit and don't even be liking, subscribing, or sharing, yo. Y'all just be motherfucking stealing information. Then on top of that, y'all just be using it as talking points. Y'all won't even look none of this shit up. I keep telling y'all, I used to write down the actual source like I was doing a motherfucking book report on where I got it from. But I'm actually pretty busy at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'll read it and I'll write down, you know what I'm saying, what I read. But as I get more time to do more research and keep adding my sources on where I got the shit from, so you can go look it up your motherfucking self. Stop. I don't mean to cuss at y'all like that, but I'm a little frustrated with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's all love. I mean, I was always told you shouldn't be mad when a person yells at you when they're talking to you. You should be mad and worried when that person stops speaking to you altogether. You know what I'm saying? Because that means they gave up on you. And I know a lot of us are a little hard headed, so I ain't gonna give up on you just yet. And last last but not least, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I found out through our own Anchor app that we reaching an audience all around the world, whether it's Finland, Germany, Japan, uh, China, England, a couple other little spots. I know. I think we were on. We're being listened to in 14 countries. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's up, man. You know what I mean? Somebody in their own space in another country is checking out what the brother got to say, and you know they probably understand because they reading and they peeping a lot of the same things going on in their own land. And before I let y'all go, I'm gonna leave y'all with this a little bit of homework assignment for you. Uh, the World Economic Forum is about to kick off in the next couple weeks. I think it's the next couple weeks or the next couple days. I don't know. It'll be so much shit going on. But be looking out for that. Davos, they about to tell you the shit they about to throw at you for the next year and a half. You know what I'm saying? So, peep game. Get in the comment sections. Let me know what's going on with y'all. Let me know if y'all enjoying these videos. If y'all have any topics or something that y'all read or came across that y'all would like to discuss, please feel free to hit me up, man. Don't be shy. Because, I mean, a lot of times it's like, it's not it don't seem like a community sometimes when the rest of y'all don't share info and input. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm talking at you and not building with you. So as always, peace and love to the community. And I hope I'll leave you better than I found you. Until next time, your brother.